It's been a while. I'm walking. I've got the full-fledged farming outfit. Actually, I'm going to be going to Ag in Motion later today. I'm just walking to our chicken coop. Some of you probably seen my posts on social media that I was going in a new direction, so I thought I would explain that. But that I would do it while we go pick some eggs in the chicken coop. Weather's beautiful today. It's much nicer. We got some hay square bales to pick, like 1,000 of them. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if I can zoom in. Oh shoot, I forgot to put bug spray. We're gonna do that because I'm gonna get eaten alive. The chicken coop doesn't have everything screened in yet, so mosquitoes are abundant right now in the coop. So I'm just gonna spray myself with kids bug spray just so I don't get eaten alive. I have some in the car. It's been a while. I think the last live was like over a month ago. I was and still am doing town halls everywhere. Just give me a sec. I'm just gonna spray myself just quickly here. Just so at least my feet don't get eaten alive. Oh, it's asking to end the stream. I have a little funny egg apron right now. I'll explain all of that. So this apron has little slots to put eggs in. When I pick the eggs, and I'll explain that when I get in the coop, if the eggs are clean, I put them in my little apron because some people want unwashed eggs, but I don't have a whole ton that are super clean. And that's because the chickens that I have don't really know how to be chickens yet. We're teaching them. So they're used to being chickens that were all caged up into small cages. They don't know how to roost. They don't know how to use nesting box. They usually would lay in the cage and the eggs would roll away. And that would be like the eggs you would get at a grocery store. So we got these chickens, 250 of them. I think right now we have 251 in this coop. We have more in our backyard, but we're keeping those separated because we want to incubate some of the eggs. So we have some roosters back there, not quite working yet, still too young, but we want to produce our own flock so that we have chickens that know how to be chickens. I'm just gonna turn off. So this is a electric gate. So they have, I'd say, maybe half of an acre right now to roam, but we shut it off in the winter, not in the winter, at night. Not shut it off. We keep this on, but we don't let them out until the morning so that they're safe from predators. This is a shipping container. I know. Don't mind the paper. It's all come undone. We should have done the siding before. We ran out of paper when we were doing it, but yeah, this is a shipping container that's been turned into a coop. But we put in a door. I'm putting an insert there. I just bought it this week. That's a screen door insert. And then there's a little coop door that I have to open for them to be able to get out. So I do this every morning, sometimes several times a day. Oh, there's one chicken coming out. He's like, let me out, woman. There's more. I give them treats. I'll show you. Here, I don't know if I can switch the camera angle. Does it give me an option? Yeah, let's see. It kind of does opposite because the water tank's actually on the left side. Here's some of them getting out. I'll show you guys everything. We have a little bath here. Dementitious, I don't know how to say it. Earth. And then I give them bugs We're trying to entice them to go outside. You can probably see the bugs. The mosquitoes are pretty bad at the entrance. We're trying to entice them to go outside. But like I said, they're used to being in cages, so they don't always know how to go outside. So we have to bribe them with bugs. Right here, I'm gonna put this down for a second. You get to see. Watch their behavior when I give them these bugs. They all come. It's their favorite thing. They're not alive. These bugs are mealworm. So I do that to try to get them to go outside. Can you guys hear them? So normally chickens would use nesting boxes. However, these ones don't really know how to use the nesting boxes. So they're just laying on the floor everywhere. This bedding's actually going to be changed this week. We have some chickens that have chicken lice, which chicken lice is not, doesn't bother us. They don't bite us. They don't even bite the chickens. They just eat the dead skin and feathers and stuff. But yeah, so I'll show you guys. There's 250 in here. There's some nesting boxes back there. There's going to be more. And it's funny, Roger says, teach them how to be chickens. We are doing that. Um, I'll show you how we're doing that back there. But I kind of know some of the spots that they always lay because I kind of got used to it. They do kind of still have that nesting instinct. They just don't all use the boxes, but some do. Yeah. Like this one is, they always kind of lay around the feed. Quite a few eggs, but not a whole lot. But I'll show you guys an example. So this one was just laid, and this one is clean. So when it's clean, I just put them in my little apron. So that way we can kind of keep them separated. Yeah, these two are somewhat clean, but not enough. But yeah, see, they're kind of all over. There's some are using the nesting boxes now, a lot more than before. We put fake eggs in them to try to kind of trick them into laying in there. So right now, this morning is not when they're laying the most. They're gonna start laying a little bit more throughout the day. Usually by 1 o'clock, they're that these are lights we installed. They're on a timer, so they come on at 7 a.m. and they shut off at 8 p.m. No, at 6 a.m. is when they come on. Oh, I'll show you guys the water system that I designed so that I don't have to fill water. Give me a sec. Whoop, wrong one. So this is a feeder right now. They've got two different feeds. We're adjusting them to the new feed, which is this. We got them at Willow Mills. They prefer it, but we still have some of the old feed that we had at, I think, Early's. Yeah. Anyways, the watering system used to be one of these. They're outside, same similar size, and they would go through two of those per day. So, and we only had two, so we had to kind of rush to get more better watering system design. So this is what we have. I don't know what they're called. Don't mind the mess on top of it. I have to get a shelf and organize everything. We have some feed over there. And we have damatitious earth baths because of the chicken lice. We're going to be spraying them soon too with not permethrin, but there's a plant kind that's more organic. But anyways, we set up this system, and if you see here, these are what they call chicken nipples. So if they move this, it releases water, and they drink from that. And then what was happening, the floor was getting all wet because obviously they don't drink every drop. So we added these kind of feeders. They're actually chicken feeders to the bottom, so it holds the the water so the water's not going down on the ground. So some are drinking from the container, some from the nipples. But yeah, you can see them drinking right there. So let's go see if we can get some eggs. When they're laying, they're a lot louder. So normally they're not this loud. It's just right now they're all laying eggs. We put these dividers right now, just for now. We're going to turn the other shipping container into a coop. They're a little bit more condensed than I would like, but we put these hay bales because they would all gang up in the back and suffocate each other. So, oh, there's 2 eggs. These eggs are usually more dirty in this area, and then I get cleaner ones. I got some straw in my shoe. Give me a sec. But yeah, so some will just be out on the floor like you can see here. But usually they'll go to corners. It's not ideal. It'd be nice if they were all laying in the boxes. I'll show you one area that there's usually like 15 eggs. We gave them leftover scraps too, like some of the rolls we didn't end up eating. Here's a couple more. Might as well grab them. Ugh. So yeah, this bedding's a few weeks old. Normally what we'll be doing is adding more to it every week so that it creates like insulation throughout the winter. Oh, but right now, oh, mosquitoes. I'm just checking. I don't want to scare them too much, so you might notice me move kind of slow. Sorry, I have wood chips in my shoe. It's driving me insane. So Roger said sand and charcoal for a bath. We do have some, but I was told be careful if it's wet because then it becomes lye and can become toxic. But I'll show you what I mean by they often will kind of go in the more darker area to lay. So this is an example of that. And there's a couple that started going broody. I think this one's clean. Whoop. She just now noticed I was here. She got scared. I probably should have come a little bit earlier to pick them. Come on, come on. So that one would probably be one that would be a bit more broody, or she could be laying right now, but she's the same one that was there yesterday. So I don't think it's that she's laying. I think she just wants to sit on the eggs. But she's not mean. These chickens are actually pretty tame. I have a broody one that's actually quite mean. I'm gonna see if I can just pull her out. Oh. Come on, come on. Oh, I need both hands. Give me a sec. Oh, there you go. She's leaving. I don't see any there. So maybe she wasn't broody. I'm trying to manage this with one hand. I'm going to ag emotion later. It's kind of loud. Oh, I just noticed the bar was left open. So at night, when you have chickens that know how to nest, you would normally keep these closed, kind of like that. Do you see how that one's open? You would normally keep these closed so that they don't go and sleep there at night. But you can see some eggs in the bottom ones. Here, like do you see? these ones, those aren't actually real eggs. They're my fake eggs to try to get them to lay in the nesting boxes. But this one was left up. That was a mistake. But see, here's one that laid. When they use the nesting boxes, they're super clean, but they're not yet using it fully. Right now, they don't even know how to jump because just keep in mind they've been in cages most of their lives. So these, I put these underneath it so that they would start using those and start knowing to use nest boxes. So I'll grab some of those. But they've also laid in this corner here. Kind of anywhere that's sort of dark, they'll lay in. I'm just checking to see which ones are clean. So I do this. If I do it more often, then the eggs are more cleaner. And it doesn't, if they're not super clean, it's fine because I wash them as soon as I bring them in. But again, for the people who want unwashed eggs, I get more of them that are not needing to be washed if I do it several times a day. And I just love it. Jonathan was oh, it's okay. Come around. I was in Swift Current last night for a town hall, so some of you know I'm leaving Unified Grassroots. But I'll explain why when I'm out of this poop. It's too loud right now. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, Tara Lee says lye is made by soaking a lot of charcoal in soft water and boiling it down. Okay, I didn't know that. So if I do have some charcoal just from the fireplace. We have quite a bit actually. So maybe I'll do that. But we do have it's called a damaticious earth or something like that. I don't know if I'm saying the right pronunciation. Oh, there's a clean one. The ones in the nesting boxes are usually pretty clean. I usually get a couple dozen that are not needing to be washed. But then, here, look at this one. It won't get out. I don't necessarily want to wait till later either, because then I might come back and the eggs underneath will be cracked. So my apron's getting full. It's nice when I have like a full one that's fully clean. But yeah, I was in Swift Current last night for a town hall. We've got another one tonight in North Battleford. If you haven't been to one, I highly recommend you do. We teach about democratic processes in Saskatchewan, how to influence change. Can you guys hear me okay? Is it working? I might have to boot out Missy here. There you go. She did not like me booting her out. I've got to check those eggs. Guys, you're being so loud. No, that one's too dirty. That's good. Yeah, so I was in Swift Current last night. By the time I got home, it was really late, 2 a.m. And I was up at 8 a.m. And Jonathan's like, "What are you doing up?" And I said, "I'm just so excited for the chickens." So they say, how does that song goes? Every day is a vacation because I love my occupation. My kids always sing that song, and I really like chickens. I'm almost done. We're gonna pick a few more. Oh, they're all laying in them. Come on, move out of there. You can go back after. See, this one they laid behind the box. The box got moved. I just gotta reach in and grab them. Oh, They're all clean, which is good. Put them in my. Or put it back all the way. The other one has a whole bunch of chickens in them. Come on, guys. I need the eggs. Come on, move. Come on. They're so darn cute. Look at this one. So the chickens, some of them you'll notice they don't have a ton of, like they're missing a ton of feathers. They they eventually will get really beautiful and full after we've had them for a while. These we've had for 3 weeks now. So not 3 weeks, 2 weeks. So they're already looking so much better than they were. But come on. Okay. I have so many clean ones. That makes me excited. This is what I've got so far. I'll get probably 3 more of those throughout the day. I'll come back. I have an appointment. Here, I'll show you guys what I'm walking through. So when I go back here, they kind of all go to the front. I have more nesting boxes. I just realized I forgot to put those down. If I want them to use them, they have to be able to access them. Give me a sec. Sorry, guys. Oh, no. There you go. Oh. So, yeah. And then I usually come in from that side. Now I'm going to do this side where the water is so I can get all of the eggs that they've laid. There's a few by the water I saw. We got the scraps and food. There's a bunch of worms in there too, underneath there. But I think there's a couple eggs here, yeah. I'd seen them earlier. Come on. Hopefully we'll get to a point where they're laying all of their eggs in the nesting boxes. We're just not quite there yet. I'll come back later and give them more treat. These are some of the bats that we've got. I'm going to get a big kiddie pool, but they'll, like, if you see, almost looks like cat litter, but it's not cat litter. There's another one here. But yeah, they have all of this yard to go into. Ideally, I would love them to kind of roam all of this area. If you can see, we did put some electric fence, and it's not necessarily because of the chickens, like to lock the chickens in, is to lock these guys in. This one likes chickens. So does Max. The they're fighting right now. We have a border collie and a German shepherd. Well, she's a border collie golden retriever mix and a German shepherd Austrian shepherd, and they both like chickens. So if they had access to here, they would like decimate the entire flock. So not ideal dogs to have when you have chickens, but I'll leave the door open and then I'll put the fence in. The fence has been a huge deterrent, which is good. I'm thankful that they're not testing the limits of the fence. And then I'll put these eggs inside, and then I'll take you guys to the. I just gotta turn this on. Now the electric fence is live. We're gonna make it bigger eventually. But yeah, they're not going outside. I'm putting food, and we even brought some of our old chickens that were former cage chickens that are now like living the life on our farm. I even brought them to teach them to go outside, and they're going outside. Guys, stop fighting around me. They want attention. But yeah, so I brought them, like 11 of them, in there to kind of teach the other ones, because they know how to use roosting bars. They know how to use nesting boxes. We've got 2 more nesting boxes inside the house that I'm going to bring into the coop probably tomorrow. They're quite heavy, so I can't do it by myself. And tonight I'll be in North Battleford. So, and then we're going to do roosting bars, but again, they don't know how to use them. So we could put them everywhere in the coop right now, but they won't know how to use them. They don't know how to jump or fly. They're starting to. So hopefully, let's see if I missed some comments here. Oh, Tara Lee says the DE is good in moderation, but bad for their lungs. It's a little shards of shells. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, right now it's just they have the bass there that they can turn in there. And I'll show you guys. We have so much construction stuff. Let's get these eggs inside because they're a bit heavy. And I don't want to crack the ones that I have in my little egg apron. And then I'll share with you some of the other stuff we have on the farm. We're gonna get some pigs at Magnalista pigs. Here, I'm gonna share. My friend, I really love all these flowers. This year we have most of the siding done, not all of it. So we actually put effort into. I've got a dress too, so it makes it hard. What happened to the camera? Give me a sec. The camera wasn't working. And I have a dress on. Yeah, look at this nice, beautiful flower. Ah, I keep turning it off. See the view in the back. And the boxes we have to put into the dump. I love this bush. So weird that the camera's doing that. I don't know why. There you go. Next, I'll take you guys down to the other coop that we have in the backyard. That's where we have the really interesting cute chickens. I'm just going to take the seat and sit it down. Most of our house is still under construction, so you can see we don't have doors yet on our kitchen. All of the construction was kind of put on hold when I started doing unified grassroots, and that's taking most of my time. My phone died. So I'm stuck by my charger. I'll let it charge for a little bit and while I explain to you other things, and then we'll go in the backyard and show you the really fun chicken. We have some silkies, we have some chicks, we have some Plymouth Rock. So the plan is once the chicks are of laying age, we're going to replace the stock of chickens that we have in the coop with some that we breed on our own, so that it's some that are have the nesting instinct, that have the roosting instinct, and just are used to or have like ingrained in their DNA our farm. So yeah, my voice was breaking up because my phone died. so so yeah, we've got 75 chicks in the coop in the backyard, and we have a few other adult and some of the white laying, I think they're called I knew the name. Is it not, is it Egghorn? No, it's something horn. If somebody knows the name, the ones that are in the coop. They're just basically the white egg layers. There's like white ones and brown ones. We have brown ones in the back as little chicks. And then, so once those get older, we also have it. I think it's Leghorn. Is that what it is? Tara says we always have 1 year olds that we raise up or let chickens go broody. I have one in the back that does go broody. It's something cream. At first, I thought she was like part frilly, but she's not. But she has like a frizzy top head. She's one of my older chickens. I also have a brown one. We lost a few older chickens that we had, would have been like a couple months ago. My favorite one, which was one that was actually able to fly, flew to try to get away from the Yorkies. The Yorkies managed to dig their way in to the backyard, and then their Yorkies are so small, but they can still terrorize them. And one flew away from the Yorkie into the pool, and it ended up drowning. So Leghorn, yeah. Thank you. I'm just reading some of the comments. So I'll, once this charges a bit, I have a fast charger. I'll take you guys back there and we'll have a look. And I might not be able to do like 10 more minutes, but I'll do like 5 minutes to show you guys. But I'll explain kind of why I decided to leave Unified Grassroots. So some of you may not know, I founded and led a nonprofit organization in Saskatchewan since I think it was 2021 when we started, whatever year the passports were implemented in Saskatchewan. And did so much work with that for the last is it been 4 years? I think it's been 4 years. So much time, sweat, and tears put into building this organization. So I would kind of consider it a bit like my baby. If you've been following me for all this time, you would know this. And we did a lot of work, like during COVID. I think we were one of the least bad provinces because the organization existed and the work that we did and the work that the people in our organization did. And then we moved on to push for like the parental rights legislation, to lobby for that change. And we got that passed in Saskatchewan, which was fantastic. And then we started moving towards the independence movement. I'm just feeling like a little, there's no CMs that sometimes bite. But then we moved towards fighting for more independence in Saskatchewan. We know the vision Mark Carney has for Canada, and we know what that's going to mean for the West. So we had to do something after the last election. And if you know me, I'm very much guided by my faith and by God directing my steps. I try to be as obedient and as in line with his will as much as possible. Sometimes I'm not sure, and I never want to be out of his will, but sometimes I don't know for sure. Is this God? Is this me? Is this my flesh? Is this influence from other people? Like, am I working in his will? And I do know that going in the direction of more independence or fighting for more independence was the right direction for the organization. But what I was shocked by and almost fought against God a bit is when he told me that yes, it's the right direction, but you're not the one to lead it in that direction. As in, send it in that direction and step away. And when I started hearing that, and if you watch me, I've been saying that from the get go. Like, I feel so unequipped, and it's not even feeling unequipped. I just don't think that that is my fight as part of the organization. I do think I'm going to be working in that fight. I just don't think it's going to be as leading that organization. And I don't know what that's going to look like. Maybe it's just going to be me doing content, talking to people on why I think we need to fight for more independence, what kind of encroachments we're having. I don't know. I don't have all of the answer. But when I was hearing this, you start questioning, is this really what God is saying, or is this the enemy? And to be honest, like, I fought it, because it's really hard when you've worked, put your sweat, tears into something for 4 years. And I don't get paid from Unified Grassroots. Like, it's not a paid position. It's not a job. I do all of it volunteer. And it's been full-time hours. Some weeks more than full-time hours. And it's been so much sacrifice for our family. Financially, like, I'm not working, which I probably would have been working or building a business. I would have been focusing on that more, our farm, our vineyard, all of that more, had I not been doing this. So it was a huge sacrifice to our family. And I'm not saying that as in Jonathan was against it. In fact, he was so supportive. He still is so supportive. I do have, like, the most amazing husband in the world. But when I started hearing that, I fought it. And I'll explain the best way I can explain so you understand, even if you're not a Christian. There's no way I can explain this without bringing God into the equation, because this is literally what happened to me. When I stopped being obedient to it, it's almost like the anointing or the grace lifted. If you're a Christian, you would know what that means. When all of a sudden you don't really feel God's protection over what you're doing or over your life. You don't feel God's presence, where before I would, like, put worship music and I would feel like God with me and next to me. And all of a sudden, I can't do that anymore. I'm not hearing from him anymore. And then I'm getting all of these trials. Like, I have a group that intercessors that pray over me and my family and the organization. And I was, like, asking them for prayers because I would feel so under attack. And I don't mean attack in the world, just spiritually. And that can be like just waking up with nightmares, which I never have, or having bug infestations, like bugs that I've never seen in our house. Not lice or anything, but just that happens often when I'm under attack. We had a hornet attack in our house. I have no idea how they even got in. Our house is sealed, but last year we had a big hornet infestation. We prayed over it and it went away, like literally overnight. But we just started feeling so under attack. And it didn't matter how much I prayed. It's like that protection wasn't there. Sometimes God allows trials and things to occur to send you back in the direction he has for you. And I think that's what God was doing. And I started becoming impatient and irritated with, like, just people general, like, I'm not talking the NDP or the media. I'm talking even just within people within our organization, people messaging me asking me, oh, when's the town hall? Do you have the details for this town hall? I'm like, everything's on our website. Like, even just getting irritated with small stuff, which is not like me. I've been doing this for 4 years and I love helping people. I love when people are lost or needing direction. I love giving direction, but all of it just became so hard. I didn't have the energy that I used to have for all the other fights, like supernatural energy. When you're in God's anointing, you can almost do the impossible. Like, people would ask me, how are you doing it all? I have 4 kids. It was just so much work, but I had the energy and that went away. So And then I prayed about it and I said, okay, Lord, if you want me to leave, give me confirmation. And it was confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. So, and then I gave my notice to the organization, and then a lot of these things that were just not working out, were just not happening. Like all of it started coming together and lining up and doors opening. Like a crazy example is my Twitter account. I had applied for subscriptions 2 years ago, and since whenever it came out, and I've been waiting for 2 years, and then they changed the rules. I didn't qualify. I made myself qualify, and I applied again, and I'd been waiting. The same day I gave my notice, it gets approved. Like, then I get notified I have an opportunity of getting these 250 chickens. Like, I really felt like the Lord say, finish your home so that you can have people come, maybe for home church, I don't know what, but, and build your farm, which is something that I've always wanted to do. And then so I get like a line on 250 chickens for free. And I'm like, okay, well, we need a coop. We had a shipping container. So I'm like, let's clean out the shipping container and we'll turn that into a coop. So much work right now. We need a yard sale to clean it out. So I'm like, let's see if we can get another shipping container. Literally that morning I said, any chance you have a 53-foot insulated container and available, and could you deliver it today? They're like, yeah. So that got delivered at 1 o'clock. The chickens got arrived. We were picking them up at 4 o'clock. And that's the same thing. Someone had a trailer that they would be able to go pick up. Like, it's really hard to transport 250 chickens. So they had a sheep transport, or like a livestock transport trailer. So that they went and picked them up, and they wanted some themselves. So they're like, we'll help you out if you can get us in on some of the chickens. So we got that. This would have been, what day was it? I feel like it was 2 weeks ago, but it might have been 3 weeks ago. And all of that kind of was falling into place that same week. And Jonathan has had such a passion for farming. He's a doctor and he says he just wants to be a farmer. So, and I never had that in my like heart. If anything, I was almost like pushing back against that because I thought it wouldn't be a good fit for my personality type. And then we watched The Lunatic Farmer. This would have been the same week we got the chickens. If you haven't seen that documentary, The Lunatic Farmer, it's it's actually like, it was life-changing for us. I realized this kind of farming is actually something that I could do, like the direct. I need people. I'm a extreme extrovert. So to be locked up, isolated on a farm is not good for my mental health or my personality type. I'm just being realistic. So I didn't see farmer as an option for me to be something that I would fully enjoy and thrive in. And then I watched Lunatic Farmer and what he does and how he farms and how he gets like really involved in his communities. Like they do direct sales. So they have like a big store that people come and buy food. And I, like Jonathan and I were watching it, we're like, this is what we need to do. And there was like this huge, like almost like a download of passion, like, okay, this is what we're supposed to do. This is what God, the direction God wants us to go into. So there was all of these things that kind of amalgamated all at the same time. And as soon as I kind of give my notice, all of this weight and almost like heaviness and darkness that had been like weighing on me just lifted overnight. And that's a confirmation in itself. When you're walking in God's will, and it's not always going to be easy, but the Lord carries the yoke. Like he helps you with it. Yes, there's trials and stuff, but it actually is easy when you're working in God's will. It's not easy when you're not. So I asked God, what's the plan? I don't know yet what it is. I'm still doing the town halls till the end of July. So there's 3 more left. So one tonight in North Battleford, one in Humboldt next week, I think. I can't remember if it's the 22nd. Go on our website, unifiedgrassroots.com. And then there's one in Yorkton on the 26th. So I'm going to be doing those 3. I told the board I wasn't going to let them down because I don't think anyone right now is equipped to be able to do them or has the time to do them. So we will be scheduling more, or they will be scheduling more. It just won't be me doing them. And it's not like there was like bad blood or like a big lash out with the board or anything, me leaving. Actually, I'm still very supportive of Unified Grassroots and the work that they're doing. And I'll be promoting their stuff. I'm hoping that Lord's going to send someone forward to take the lead and that it's going to be like a spirit filled decision, not somebody trying to use it for their own advantage. I think the board knows that an organization of that size with the political kind of history that it has can be used for negative intentions. We do understand that. So I think it's going to be a prayerful decision as to who is going to, I guess, come and lead it. But maybe it won't be one person. Maybe it'll be 10. Or like maybe it will become nothing. And out of that, something else will be born. I don't know. Like I honestly have no idea. All I know is I trust God. And when God says to do something, I know his plan is so much greater than my own plans and ambitions for what God needs in this world. So, yeah, so what we are doing, I'll still be talking about politics on my show. It just won't be 100% focus. Another thing that I found really hard, especially when I was doing the daily show, is in order for me to talk about politics and talk about the news and what was happening, I had to constantly be researching everything all the time. So I was like so immersed and inundated in politics and news, and that can be so draining. And I think for people too, I think summers here, a lot of people are not necessarily want to be inundated with all the negative stuff in the world. And a lot of people who are still not fully aware of everything that's going on don't necessarily want to watch a show that just talks about politics 24/7. Like some of them probably want to get entertained a bit. And I thought, well, if we need to wake up the masses and they're not going to watch a political show, well, maybe they'll watch a show about farming, about growing your own farm on a budget, which is what we're going to do. We're not everything we're doing is going to be how can we do this the cheapest way possible, because we're basically starting from scratch. Like I've had chickens the last like few years, but I'm by no means a chicken farmer, or a chicken expert. I am a chicken farmer now, I am, but I'm by no means a chicken expert. So I'm gonna be learning all of this while I share what we're doing with you guys. So but and then I'm going to be talking about some politics. How are some of the policies at the federal level affecting our everyday life? Whether it's through farming, maybe it's personal life, maybe it's property taxes, maybe some of the changes that are coming at the provincial level. I don't know. This room's kind of dark. We have like darkening curtains and there's just like a little gap open. So I hope you guys can still see me. But I thought like maybe people will watch for like the homesteading stuff and then they'll learn a little bit. Oh, this is why I'm conservative. Like I'll still talk about politics, but it won't be. It's funny. Roger says expert. um, but maybe it'll reach some people that may not have been reached if it was just politics. So I don't know. Tara Lee says constant negativity is hard on you. The last 5 years has been the worst. I hate feeling negative and discouraged all the time. I love having chickens. I do too. And we're getting pigs too. Magnalisa pigs. So they're like fuzzy pigs. They have like almost like fur like sheep does. They do really well in winter. They're lard pigs, so we're gonna have the females that kind, and then we're gonna breed them with Duroc. So Duroc will be the male pigs, and then they'll do a offsprings that's a mixture between meat and lard. So it'll be like more marbled meat. And then we're hoping to do like bacon and like do food processing here that we can also sell some of the meat. We're doing sheep too, but we're gonna do a mixture of uh I think British milk sheep as well as I can't something Arcot. Dorset. No, something Arcot. I just can't remember the name. So that's the plan. And we want the sheep for milk production as well as meat. So we're hoping to do cheese and stuff and yogurt. A lot of people don't know that milk sheep is actually like better tasting quality, is a bit sweeter than regular cow's milk and higher fat content. But the reason you don't see sheep milk in production is they don't produce throughout the year. Most of them it's 150 to 200 days of production. So it makes it a lot, and they don't produce as much. Sometimes it's like a liter, sometimes a bit more than a liter, 2 liters. So it's not feasible to produce milk in that way. However, we can't produce cow milk because we don't have a dairy quota. So in Canada, if you're watching from the US, in Canada, people can't get their own milk cow and have their own milk without having a dairy quota. It's all controlled by the government, which is something that I never was against before because I didn't really know much about it until you try as a farmer to make a life for yourself and you realize the government kind of controls all of the food supply chains in Canada when it comes to eggs, when it comes to dairy. The reason we only have 250 eggs, well, we have like a little bit more. I think we have 275 if we include the ones in the back. We're only allowed to have 299 laying chickens. We can have chicks as long as they're not at the stage of laying, as long as you're planning on replacing your previous layers when your chicks get to the point of laying. But that's all control. I can't have more than 299 because there's an egg cartel. And same thing with dairy. You can't just get a dairy cow and start producing dairy. All of it is controlled. And just to give you an example of how unfeasible and it actually creates a poor system of food production in Canada. And just hear me out a little bit on me explaining how it does that. In order for me to get a quota for a layer for so if I wanted to do egg production on a massive scale and get thousands of layers, I have to pay over $700 per chicken to have a quota for eggs. So I have to borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to have an egg quota to produce egg to sell eggs to you. Because it's so expensive to buy a quota in order for it to be profitable to do a farming operation, you're almost forced to do like small quarters caged chickens. So if you go to the store and buy regular eggs, most of those eggs come from like they're maybe I'll show maybe like this big of a cage and you have like 8 birds in it. These birds don't ever see the outside world. They don't even have a regular floor to walk on. It's all grills. The eggs get laid there and roll away. Everything's like automated. They don't perch, they don't nest. They just eat, drink, and lay. And usually they're so like close quarters, they'll pick each other's feathers. They look quite awful. And it wasn't a reality that I was aware of until I started getting chickens. And even the free range chickens that you get like in the store, they're not free range as in outside. They're left in a barn to free range within the barn, but they still don't free range outside. So it's and in order for you to do a free range outside production, there becomes like biosecurity risk and all of that. So if you have thousands of chickens and a quota system that's cost you millions of dollars, you almost can't afford the risk of outside, of them going outside, because then you afford the risk of losing your entire flock and you have that big bill to pay. Now, I don't know what the solution is. I just know if there was more of us that would have 299 chickens that are free ranging, that are going outside and eating grass and bugs the way, and that are living the way chickens were designed to live, nesting, roosting, and just being out in the elements the way they were designed to be. I think it's way more God honoring and way better stewardship if we treat them with the respect that animals should have. And it's actually why I got into this. I thought, you know what? We need to do better. We can do better. And it's not a diss on the people who farm the other way. I'm not trying to diss that. It's just how I really feel. And I don't want to be quiet about it either. I've seen these chickens. I see how scared they are of everything. Like, and then I have the chickens in the backyard that have like been roaming free and just living their best life, and they're not scared anytime they hear a nose. Like, if we don't think that that doesn't go into the eggs in some way, shape, or form, like we're living like in denial. And this is some of the stuff that the lunatic farmer talks about too. He got his egg tested compared to store-bought eggs, and just to give you an example, the measurement of folic acid in store-bought eggs is like 40, and I think it's mg. I'm not 100% what the acronym is at the end. In store-bought eggs was 40. In his eggs, it was over 1,000 of folic acid. So the amount of bacteria that was on the chickens, like when they would butcher the chickens, theirs was like a 1% fraction of what the back, like I think theirs was like in the 200, and store-bought chicken bacteria was like in the 20,000. The quality of the meat you get is way higher when they're not like all locked up amongst each other, breathing in their own poop. And look, I know my chicken coop is not like the best scenario right now, just because they're not going outside. They are like so afraid of the outside world. 2 days ago, Jonathan and I actually pushed them all outside, all 250 chickens. We had like a baby gate and kept pushing and pushing. And even then, they didn't want to go. We had to like individually grab each chicken, carry them, and put them outside. And they like thrived when they were outside, but now, even now, they don't want to go outside. So we have to do that over and over again until they feel comfortable. It just, we as Christians are supposed to be good stewards. Sorry, I had an alarm go off. I do have an appointment at 11:40 that I have to go to. My phone is more charged. We are called to take care of all the animals on the world, in the world. And we are to do that through good stewardship. Can we say our current system right now does that? I don't know if it does. I just know I want to steward every animal that comes on our farm in the most biblical, godly way and God honoring way. And I would love to see that more instead of chasing a paycheck. And I get it. Look, people have to feed their family. But I think there's a better way and better system. Pigs, for example, they they thrive outside. They thrive when they get to root out the scratch the ground and eat the roots, and when pigs can be pigs, have a place of dirt where they can roll around in, like a muddy pit. And let's go outside. I'll put my hat back on now that my phone's charged a bit more. I just gotta get my shoes. We'll take you guys to see the chicks. Oh, we have so many different things here, Mama. We also have kittens that Mama hasn't fed because Mama's all engorged. Do you see that? You're like, feed me. I grabbed her and her. Just, I'm gonna show you these. And they have little blue eyes. Look, it's so cute. So these will be our barn cats. We only have one cat, but she does a fantastic job at. No, is he biking? Oh, um, they're attached to me right now. He might be in the backyard. I'm gonna go see. He's not outside? Do you see his bike?
His bike is not here, but it's not.
He might be in the chicken coop. She's gonna go find him. I can watch Anders if you wanna
Yeah, okay.
go see. Yeah. Where did Anders go? James started biking this week, so he's been spending like almost 90% of his time during the day. James? Oh, he's back here. We'll go say hi. He's he's playing in the mud. I'll just tell our name. We'll go see James play in the mud. Just a sec. He's he's been spending like 90% of his time outside. I'll show you guys one of the things that he's been doing a lot. Rose, no, you can't go back here. So we've got kittens, we've got puppies. Rose is following me, but Rose is not allowed back here because of the chickens. James,
What?
did you put all that water there?
Well, I put it in there, then I got it out.
Tipped it? Okay, don't do that.
I didn't think that I opened that hole.
Yeah, but you're wasting a bunch of our water.
Well, I wanted to clean that.
Okay, no more water.
Okay.
She's making a muddy mess.
I like playing with mud though.
So we have water down here, like for the chickens. I'm just gonna see if they got food. So these are the chickens that are separate from the other ones. So this is a Plymouth Rock. These are really pretty. So that one's a rooster, but he's still young. So we're hoping he's gonna fertilize these chickens. And look at Porky. So this is a chicken who's sleeping, I think. He looks just like a porcupine. Let's go see. We put some mussels in here. Porky, wake up. Buddy, wake up. Hi, buddy. Look at him. Come here. We have a few other silkies. They're roosters too. So we've got some white female silkies inside in the chicks. But this is Porky. We just got him last week. He looks like a porcupine, doesn't he? Like if you've seen a porcupine, he's the louder one. But the female chicks, the female chicks won't allow him near them. They're all hiding here. And these like roam here. They're hiding under the coop. Do you see the legs? Let's try this. Did it? I'll give them some worms. Usually they come out when we give them the treats. I give them worms every day. So they're mealworms. They're not alive, they're dead, but it's super good for their shells and also turning the yolks like a darker color. Where are they? Right here. Again, not everything's finished in our house. We don't have like the ceiling done here. So these are kept separate from the other eggs. They're not yet. Here, just give me a second. I'm just gonna give them. Hold on. They're not yet. There, they'll come out. See? There you go. I don't think they're fertilized yet. We're incubating right now some duck eggs. But see how cleaner these chickens are? They have like fuller feathers. They looked really rough when we first got them. And some of them still have more feathers, but their combs are much darker compared to the ones we have in the other container. They'll all look the same way once they're kind of allowed to fully roam everything. Now this is the cutest part. So our chicken coop is divided into two sections for now. I've got to clean this. Come on, guys. I got to clean the water. It's awful. And they tipped over the heater. You guys are being... It's okay. It's okay. Here, I'll grab one. Come on. Oh, a small one. A little white one. Ah, they're like, stop it. There you go. So cute. Look at this. Oh, it flew out. We have silkies, so there's a few silkies. I can't zoom in. The black one's there. We have a few heaters. I have to move them up because now they're getting bigger. But this is a heater as well. We don't have a lamp in here. We have a bunch of feeders too. They still have food. They have some water, but they keep putting some wood chips in their water. So I keep having to clean it out so that their water is not gross. They'll need more water today. Let's just clean this out so it's better. Yeah, there you go. Ugh, yucky. That's what Anders would say. Yucky. But yeah, so there's not 75 in there. I think right now we're closer to 69. We lost a few. When you first get chicks, sometimes you lose some. They'll have like poop butt, so I keep checking them every day. Oh, this is the broody one. These are the two. Bertha and Betty. She's the one, and she gets so mean. What are you doing? There, let's check out. Guys, just move over. You're stressing them out. So one is laying. These are like the automatic layer. I have to go clean that because they're actually sleeping in there at night, which is not ideal. But sometimes they'll lay under there. But are you gonna let me grab the eggs? Oh, oh, you already laid. Okay, move. Okay, move. I want to grab the egg. Yeah, she won't let me. So normally I need two hands to be able to grab her and get her away. Because right now she's broody. She just wants to sit on them. We keep putting straw and bedding in here, but they push it out. I'll come back later when I have two hands. So that's the mean one. She's often, oh, don't fall out. Hopefully none fell out. We were looking for one the other day for like, here, I'll switch the camera. So that's what it looks like when you have a chicken that's broody. We have silkies in there. There was like some white silkies. We have 10, but we did lose 3 silkies. That's actually some of the birds that we lost. We had these for about a week and a half. So we lost 3 silkies. Okay, I have to go because I have an appointment. But yeah, I thought I'd share with you guys kind of what we've been up to. We're going to be building a barn. We're using those 2 shipping containers as the size, and we're just going to put a roof on it, and that's going to be our barn. The pigs we're getting, though, doesn't need to be. Oh, they're so pretty. Silkies are so pretty. I just love these chickens. Yeah, there's Bertha. Betsy. That's Betsy. The Bertha's the mean one. Betsy's the brown one. She's my favorite. Are we allowed to have favorites? I don't know, but I do. We've got a bunch more like this in the chicks. They do. She does brown egg, a big, massive brown egg, and she lays almost every single day. She's a good layer. I don't know how old she is because I got her from like a Kijiji ad a while ago. So she could be like 5, 6 years old for all I know. And then I'll go back upstairs. I have an appointment at 11:40 in Warman, so I have to get going because I think it takes me like 25 minutes to get there. But yeah, I'll be doing more shows. Probably as soon as the last town hall is done, and then we'll go into the studio. I think Jason Levine is coming. I think it's tomorrow. And we're gonna do an interview in here. So in the studio where I normally am. So if that looks familiar, that's why. So we're gonna do an interview tomorrow. He's kind of going across country and doing a bunch of recordings. And so I'm gonna go to my appointment, and then I'm gonna be at Ag Emotion this afternoon. So I have family. Jonathan's family is gonna be there, so I'm gonna go meet up with them after my appointment in Warman. Yeah, I'm hoping to do more of that. I'm also going to be doing like cooking content too, so that people kind of know how to cook some of the food that we're eventually going to grow and sell here, like how to do really good pork recipes, how to do like even lamb. A lot of people don't like lamb because they've never had it in a way that tastes good. So I'm going to cook some recipes on how to do that. And I am a very good cook. That's one thing that I'm okay with saying because it's true. I'm a very good, harsh food critic. I usually don't like going to eat at a restaurant where the food tastes worse than what I can make. So, and Jonathan will say the same thing. Even my kids say, "Mom, you're the best." My kids actually eat my cooking, so that's a good sign too. And then, yeah, so some people say we're gonna miss you, but I'm not gonna go away. I'm still gonna talk about things. I'm still gonna share what Unified Grassroots is doing. I just won't be, all my time won't be bogged down by doing the organizational part of running a nonprofit organization the size of Unified Grassroots. Now I'm just going to be sharing like our farm, our life, and I will talk about politics. It just won't be all of it. So I'm hoping I won't lose most of you. I think most of you are similar mindset, probably like more homesteading content, but yeah, it just won't be 100% that. Anyways, I have to go, and I will see you guys again soon.